through this unilateral statement of the non-convertibility into gold, and with this assumption of the end of regulated capitalism would start the consensus of Washington. That is a model of neoliberalism featured by the privatization of public goods, the openness of borders, through a logic which was strictly quantitative and monetarized of economy, which would determine the actual phases of capitalism characterized by financialization of economy, that is globalization or neoliberal globalization, with two key elements: the technological ensoñación. There were the hyper-globalizers. Any struggle in this economy, the most coherent approaches that say that it was impossible that capitalism would work without a cyclical crisis. This optimistic globalism was saying that this industrial delocalization would end up with all crises, but all the contrary happened. Cruel learning, as Rita Sedato said, very cruel, in fact, through pandemic of the problems with industrialization. There was this as well as a technical justification. On the one hand, we thought that technology would solve any social problem with silly ideas such as Bush one, we're gonna go on holidays, but, well, in fact, many saw a technological dreamy state. The troubles are not political ones, but technical, so the solutions are technical solutions. In a certain moment, the environmental crisis will be solved, loneliness, migrations, violence, work fatigues, any trouble would be solved through this technological dreamy state, which didn't know the load it implied, the metabolism of capital. This economic system featured by private property of all the goods that can be traded, as everything in life. At the same time, we want to tell you what is happening. We are victims of Google. We are victims of Google.
Compañeros, si nos podéis decir si estamos... Estamos en Facebook y en inglés, en YouTube. Se ha caído el YouTube del Cancela. Bueno.
Okay, it seems there are some technical issues that we're going to overcome as soon as possible. So we do apologize, because at the end of the day, that's what we wanted to highlight, this dependence, technological dependence, which is not will to do things differently. That's this metabolism of capital, that's the privatization of any good. Everything is merchandise, good, living, sports, sex, dressing, everything. There is a trend to occupy these private spheres which are being multiplied through this technology that makes us rely on it, with this building of national states, as far as they were those who could transmit the exception state. But This latter is determined by multinational companies or any computing attack that sink the networks, paralyzing the countries. I was saying that this will, which surges very strongly in the 70s,